Hey guys, Jason back for another statue review. Today I'm thrilled to be reviewing the beautiful Deja Thoris by Sideshow Collectibles. This statue and I have a bit of a history because she was one of the first pre-orders I put in when I started collecting statues. I saw her on I think it was a booth tour during a New York Comic-Con a couple years ago, and I was just like, damn. Most of the statues that I collect, I have a bit of a nostalgic connection to. Something that I watched when I was a kid. The early cartoons, like X-Men, or comic books I used to read, like Batman or Punisher, or video games I used to play, or have played more recently. Usually there's some sort of a connection to something that makes me want to buy a statue. But Deja was the first and one of the only statues that I saw, and I was just like, damn, I need to have that statue. That is just a work of art. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank God she turned out almost as good as that original prototype was, which is a real testament to Sideshow. So without further ado, let's have a look at the statue. So as you can see, this statue is something special. Sculpted by William Harbottle, and I believe the original prototype was painted by his wife. And there was a lot of fear in the community. I know I was pretty worried about whether or not they would be able to achieve what they had with that original prototype, because it was just something truly beautiful. And again, I think I'm happy to say that they got pretty damn close. I mean, this is about as close as you're gonna get with a production piece to perfection in a lot of ways. So well done to Sideshow. So before we get into the details, let's talk about what was in the box. Unlike a lot of other Sideshow pieces, this one came with a little bit of an instruction manual. Interesting. Not sure if it was completely necessary, but I guess because there are so many delicate pieces, they wanted to make sure you put it in right, so that's fine. As you can see, the art box in the back is kind of cool because it can really act as a backdrop for her, and I've been taking a lot of pictures of her, and I've been using this as a backdrop, and it worked really well. The other side of the art box is just kind of a close-up of her and her name, but this is a really nice touch. The box that she came in, just a single regular Sideshow box, and standard Sideshow fare. It's interesting because Sideshow sticks with this sort of styrofoam box, and they still have these just sort of a tape around it, whereas a lot of other companies are moving towards the a little bit more premium Velcro straps. But that's a really good segue into my initial thoughts on this statue, because to me Sideshow, and this is not a knock on Sideshow at all, because I really like them as a company, but to me they're more about they're a business of getting collectibles in people's hands. They carry a lot of other producers on their website as well, and yes, they make their own statues, but I don't believe that their own statues is their primary business focus. I could be totally wrong, but that's just my sense. I'm a small business owner myself, and I think that probably what they've done is they've looked at the market and they've said, there's getting to be a lot of competition out there. There are a lot of groups that are making statues really well, and you kind of do a SWOT analysis. Anybody who's run a business or been on a management team knows what that is. It just stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So basically what it does is it just tells you what advantages your company has in its space, and then you try and work to those advantages and downplay your weaknesses, right? So Sideshow does distribution extremely well, and they do statues well too, but I'm getting to a point with all this. My point is that Sideshow makes a lot of good statues, high edition sizes usually, because they want to get it out there and make money. They're good. There's no knock on Sideshow statues, but I tend to prefer statues like XM and Prime 1, just because I feel like they're just a little step above. They're lower edition sizes usually, and even more focus on just fit and finish and detail. This is all to say that every now and then, though, Sideshow knocks one out of the park. Just knocks it out of the park, and I think that this is that one, at least for this year. So let's go through and actually look at everything here. So the base is fairly straightforward, has some interesting designs along the sides. I don't know if this has some ties to the source material, the Mars novels from the early 1900s. I'm not sure if this is some sort of alien language or if it's just a pattern, but either way, it's nice. It has a really nice sort of aged bronze look, which goes with the theme of the statue quite nicely. As you can see, we have sort of a, I don't know if this is supposed to be jade, but some sort of a weathered but ornate jar here. Really nicely done. This is not attached with anything, and there's no magnet to it that I've found, so you can kind of just position it however you like. The pillows and the fabric here have a really nice sheen to them that I'm not sure if it's picking up. I can see it's picking up on camera, but not to the same degree as what you see with the naked eye. Really beautiful effect, and look at the detail on the painting. Like, I looked over this entire statue and I really could not find any spot where I thought the paint was not done well. I think that even though the edition size, I think the edition size is 1,000, maybe more. I could be wrong, but it's higher. I think that they really went over this thing with a fine-tooth comb when it came to Q&A, or quality assurance. I mean, not Q&A, because it's just the execution and fit and finish of this statue is on a level that I haven't seen from Sideshow in quite some time, to be perfectly honest. Look at the pillows and the texturing in the pillows. This is all real texture, it's not just paint. But then it's got the shine, the kind of golden shine on some of the bits that really make it pop. The pinks and purples against these sort of more bronzy colors and copper colors. It just makes everything stand out so nicely. Even if you get up into here, into these pillows, like the purples, the color palette is just awesome on this statue. Every color chosen here was clearly very intentional and used to accent what we're all really here to see, which is Deja. Her skin tone is perfect. I was really worried about that. In the camera here, it's showing up a little bit lighter than it's actually is to the eye. I'm not sure why that is, but just know that she is a shade darker and more bronze, almost reddy, than what she's picking up here on camera, which is a good thing because it looks really natural. It looks like someone who grew up on Mars under the sun, but also with whatever is in the air in Mars, maybe red dust that sort of tinges the skin a little bit. It's so well done. It's subtle where it needs to be, but has enough paint to be effective. One thing Sideshow does really well is they do this sort of fleck, very subtle fleck painting. I think they use an airbrush and just sort of put it on the lowest setting, if I remember correctly, and they just sort of lightly dust skin to give it that sort of very slight imperfect look that real skin has, and it's just done so well here. My God, it's amazing. So you can see that Deja is more or less naked, with only her sort of royal jewelry on her, covering up her more sensitive bits. But actually, I read a bit of the source material just to kind of get an idea of how accurate this was to the source material, and it literally describes her as being naked, like the green Martians she's surrounded by, with only her royal, I don't remember the exact term they use, but it's basically her royal jewelry to cover her. So it's spot on to the source material, and it's just painted so well. And look at this might be one of the best examples of hair, sculpted hair, that I've seen in a long time. There's a lot of really nice detail in here. Very, very well done. And that portrait, like, it's just so meticulously painted, and it looks good from every angle. I was taking pictures of this statue for my Instagram page, for my Instagram account, and I was taking pictures of different angles, and like just every angle of this statue looks phenomenal. There'll be 1,000 reviewers out there already talking about the anatomy and just how beautifully sculpted she is, and I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why most people are picking the statue up. Let's be honest. So I won't dwell too much on it, but it really is like a special sculpt. She looks beautiful. She looks beautiful, but also like in charge, you know? She looks like a princess who can hold her own. She's got the gun in her hand, so we know she's not just all beauty. She'll take care of business if she has to, and that's awesome. I think there's no greater example to me of the essence of a character captured in statue. Like, this is just awesome. I can't get over how awesome this hand is. The detailing. You know, my hat's off, or my hat off. Hats if I'm wearing multiple. To William Harbottle. Like, that is just a freaking amazing pose for the hand to be in, and engineering it to work and fit so nicely. Look, that finger is right against the temple without being overly tight there, because the hand comes off here. It's just a really beautiful, nearly perfect statue. I only say nearly perfect. You know, I would say that I'm surprised I'm saying this about a Sideshow statue, but I think this is in my top 5 favorite statues. Maybe it's just new, but it's just, I can't find a flaw on it. I really can't find a flaw. Again, or not again, but what I was going to mention when it comes to why I don't give it perfect, and this is maybe not really fair, but this chain is a bitch. If mine showed up with a little link off, and it was packaged very, very well. It was wrapped to make sure that this type of thing didn't happen. But unfortunately, when I took mine out, this little bit kind of hung down, and I'm like, okay, that's not right. So I tried to attach it back here. These little loops are relatively pliable, and then with just that little bit of pressure, it broke somewhere else. And now I've got 2 places to fix. So then I literally spent 45 minutes with little needle nose pliers trying to attach all the little places, look at pictures of reference of where they need to attach, and you know, you fix one place and then another one breaks. This chain is super delicate, like super delicate, so be really careful. If you have this statue, be careful with that chain. Do not put any pressure on it, because the little joints, the little links will break. Anyways, I got it figured out, and it's fine, and I'm not going to mess with it too much, so it is what it is, and I don't think it takes away from the statue, obviously, but it's just something to be aware of. That chain is very, very fragile. So that is all I have to say about this statue. It's funny because I'm not sure what happened at Sideshow, but for a while, it was listed as Martian Princess instead of Deja Thoris, and now I notice that it's listed as Deja Thoris again. So I'm not sure if they temporarily lost the rights to use the official name or what happened there, but I was a little bit worried at that time that maybe they were just going to cancel it. if they couldn't get the official rights. But here she is in all her glory in my home, and she is not going anywhere anytime soon. Beautiful statue, really well done. Couldn't be happier. So thanks again, guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. It's prime.collectibles on Instagram, and it's just Prime Collectibles on YouTube. Feel free to find me there. I am also often doing reviews on Rad Titan as well, so be sure to follow those guys. They're veterans in the industry and awesome dudes all around. So thanks again for joining me. Until next time, guys, later.